All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another Keys to Victory / breakdown. And this is the one y'all been looking forward to. This is the WMMA fans' main event for UFC 292 strawweight title fight. That's right. We got the champ Zhang Weili versus Amanda Lemos. It's going down. We've been waiting for this one. I told people this fight would happen. Lemos is not ducking. This girl's a warrior. Weili's a warrior. Let's talk about it. All right. But first, before I do my keys to victory in this one, I just want to say, look, I'm calling this fight down the middle here. I have no horse in this race. I like both fighters. They're both warriors. I got respect for both of these fighters when it comes down to it. I'm not going to pick, one because I dislike the other, or I'm not going to bash the other when it comes down to it, because both of these girls are doing things that these trolls can do out here, and they've been working hard to get to the point where they're at. All right? So, yeah, that being said, let's start with Amanda Lemos. Let's start with Amanda Lemos as far as keys to victory. First off, I have to say, look, Amanda Lemos, this girl's a talent. I think she brings a level of boxing skill and kickboxing skill that we don't really see right now in the strawweight division. Her power is like no other, when it comes to her kicks and her right hand. She really has some devastating knockout power when she's able to line it up. And I've always felt like she would get that title shot. Some people thought it was funny, but I've said, Amanda Lemos, when you match her up with any of these other girls, including Jessica Andrade, she can win the fight, but I understand how she was able to lose to Andrade, because Andrade is Andrade, right? But when you match her up with some of these other fighters out here, she's able to utilize her power and her jiu-jitsu in different ways. So styles make fights. I understand why she lost to Andrade, but other than that, she's been back on track. She's been leveling up. She's been powering up. And I think in this fight here, she is going to step to that championship level. She's been going hard. I hope she's not overtraining, but she's been going hard as far as working on her punch selection and, rolling and, just getting that wrestling in. So I think going into this championship level fight here, number one, as a kickboxer and a boxer for Amanda Lemos, somebody that believes in her power, she can't really get overconfident. So she needs to make sure that the strikes count. She needs to make her strikes count. No loading up on every single shot in this fight, trying to knock Weili out with the first shot she throws. Just because she sees that opening there, doesn't mean she needs to go swinging for the fences, because that could be a trap from Weili, right? She needs to set traps in this one. She needs to stick that jab out at a different pace. Don't throw a lot of power on the first few shots. Just kind of throw that stick out there, that jab hand, just to kind of find a range and kind of pity pat to even throw off the champ. You want to kind of surprise her, because the shots that they don't see coming, those are the ones that hurt the most. So I really believe that in this fight here, Amanda Lemos needs to make those strikes count, even those calf kicks. She needs to step in, kind of throw that jab, throw that blinder out there, and boom, hit her with those thundering calf kicks that she has, because those shots, they hurt. She got a reaction out of Andrade with those shots when she was able to land them. But with every power punch that she throws, she's going to give up some wind and even leave herself wide open. So the more power punches that she's throwing, that's going to leave her more vulnerable to be taken down. So I think she needs to be a little bit more tactical with it, as long as she's keeping Weili at bay and making her respect her with that jab hand. That jab hand is going to be very important in this fight. So making those strikes count, that's a big part of Amanda Lemos' game in this fight, I believe. Number two is kind of going to go hand in hand, is keep command of the center. I believe she needs to keep this fight in the center of the octagon, because I was looking back at that Mizuki Inoue fight, and when she would have her back to the cage and she would let Inoue kind of pressure her in, she would get pressed to the cage, and that would smother her offense, and that would smother any chance that she would have of really knocking Inoue out. She did drop Inoue in that fight, but when she got back to her feet, she just stayed in the pocket with her, or just really stayed, inside, where she really couldn't get anything done. So I think to be effective in this fight, she needs to kind of do like what Rose did and stay in the center and make Weili kind of back towards the cage, instead kind of close the quarters on Weili, where Weili doesn't really have any place to turn and pivot or even run. So that'll kind of force her to either dive in, where she could hit her with the uppercut, or back into the cage, where she can corner her with that jab, that hard, stiff left hand, and then she can get her to walk into a right hand by stepping to her left. So, yeah, I think keeping command of the center is very important for Amanda Lemos. That way she won't give up her footing, that won't give up her stance, and she can back Weili into a corner and land one of those big shots. Number 3, be aware of those reckless moments to get that KO or that submission. Sometimes Weili, she can get a little reckless in there. She'll get happy. She'll get a little strength happy sometimes once she clinches up with you and she thinks she can bully you a little bit. So one of those moments when Weili's trying to wrestle her, she's got to look for that neck. She's got to look for that standing arm choke, whatever she can find. If they get it to the ground, if Weili's getting reckless in that guard, she's got to be quick with it as far as like getting her legs up to get an arm bar or just being quick to transition to the back. Amanda Lemos is a little bit older, but remember, Weili's 34 too. She's just 2 years younger. So they're kind of in that same age bracket. So Amanda Lemos, she still has that quick reaction time, I think, as well. She still has that quickness, and she also has that physical strength that I think a lot of people just kind of overlook. So those are the things I think she has to really be aware of on the ground, that wrestling of Weili and how she can get reckless. So she has to look for that open leg where she can either get a heel hook or an arm bar, however Weili, presenting herself on top. If she gets to her, if she gets stuck on her back in this fight, she's got to be aggressive with those elbows, and she has to start bucking early, because if Weili finds that she can lay and prey on you, she'll probably just spend a lot of rounds doing that, and that'll be a lot of time wasted for Amanda Lemos. So yeah, those are the keys to victory for Amanda Lemos. She needs to make her strikes count, keep command of the center of the cage, because that's where she'll get her best work done, like I said, and even set traps, and just be aware of those reckless moments, to get this fight done, because remember, Weili, she's been 5 rounds before, she still is the champ, and, she's been champion for a reason, and she has that experience to go that long haul. So I think for Amanda Lemos, the longer the fight goes on, I think it still would favor Weili, so she needs to look for those openings early on to get this fight done. Zhang Weili, man, she's been going through some transitions throughout her career. From early on, we seen her before she got to the UFC, into her first few fights in the UFC after those first couple losses, her comeback in that rematch with Rose. I've seen like a different Weili in each fight, trying new things and looking a little bit more confident, even as far as her stand-up goes. I think going into this fight here, we're going to see a well-rounded Weili. We're going to see one that's going to also be respecting and trying to actually, strike with Amanda Lemos at times, which could be dangerous. But in this fight, if Weili chooses to do that, she's going to have to keep her hands up. But one thing I really think is going to be important for her in this fight is to, number one, if she chooses to stand up early, is to start stinging that lead leg. Weili has a very effective calf kick. She knows how to target it right behind that knee to really start doing damage, because she was doing that to Rose in the rematch. I don't know why she didn't capitalize enough on it, because she probably could have broke that thing and really took away the stance of Rose. She probably really could have injured that leg, because she was really putting some hard kicks behind the knee on that. So I think in this type of fight here, when you're dealing with somebody who's kind of stationary and likes to plant their feet to throw power punches, she needs to start stinging that left leg right away, hitting him right on that kneecap, even doing that little stomp kick on it, or just really targeting behind the knee to take away that stance and that, fierceness in the punches of Amanda Lemos. So stinging that lead leg, it'll open up everything else like body shots and even some combinations up top, because that'll leave Lemos focused on that leg more and even take away her power, where Weili can actually invade her space more. Second, I think clinching is very important. Clinch fighting is going to be very important for Weili in this fight. Again, going back to that Inoue fight, and even what Jessica Andrade was able to do, once you pressure Lemos and you get her against the cage, you're pretty much safer than you are in the center of the cage with Lemos from there. You really don't have to be worried about getting knocked out at that point. Okay, so you take away that level. You have to start worrying about her jiu-jitsu from there, and possibly getting taken down and get submitted either in standing submission or on the ground. But if you smother her and you clinch fight with her, you're in better quarters there, because sometimes Lemos, she'll spend too much time against the cage, just trying her best to either hand control, fight your wrist or control you, trying to throw some knees. So if Weili's able to use her head as a good way to control the chin of Lemos and kind of push her up off her feet. She wouldn't have to worry about any knees coming back, and she can get in some good dirty boxing at that point. So, a lot of clinch fight is going to be important in this one, and clinch control just to avoid that offense and kind of wear down Lemos. Also wear down with body shots on the inside. That clinch game, that clinch fighting and cage fighting, it ain't no joke. That takes out a lot out of a fighter, especially getting your back pressured and, you're getting your head pushed up in the air by somebody else's head. They got their head under your chin and they're pushing you back, and then surprise elbows hit you in the jaw. A little bit of everything like that, kind of wears on a fighter. So if Weili is able to fight that kind of a clinch fight, in the mid rounds, like 2, 3, and 4, she can really start to wear on Lemos. Number 3, I say keep the pace moving. Keep the pace moving. By that, I mean just, keep on, moving around and around and touching Lemos, and just keep it at a high pace after like the first or second round, to kind of wear down Lemos. That way she won't have any ability to find you with those big shots, and you can make her wear herself out by swinging for the fences and just fighting at a higher pace. It's going to have to make her, adjust on the fly, and I'm not sure if Amanda Lemos really is used to adjusting like that. If you look at some of the past fighters she's fought, Marina Rodriguez usually fight one way. Not Andrade because she lost that fight, but Waterson, will try to mix it up. But even then, it kind of surprised her, whenever Waterson did go in for a takedown. Waterson 1 minute trying to throw head kicks and she'll try to take you down. So if Weili's moving that pace and, and throwing different styles at her, it'll kind of confuse her and even wear her down mentally. So I think just moving at a fast pace in this type of fight, maybe throw a few strikes, clinch fight, wrestle a little bit, then get back to the feet, just kind of throwing different looks at Lemos is going to slowly wear her down if it goes into the later rounds. So yeah, man, how I see this fight playing out, I think there's going to be some respect in the first round for sure. I do think that both fighters are going to respect each other. I think, Lemos is going to be looking for the big shots early, and it's possible she might clip Weili early if Weili steps in, because if you set up a good jab on Weili, you can catch her with the power hand. I've seen Carla catch her with some good left jabs. Joanna, even in the rematch, did touch the chin of Weili. So I believe like somebody with a quick set of hands like Lemos, she will touch Weili early. But I believe that'll force Weili into taking her down. Might find Lemos on her back in the first round or so. Might be a close one. If it goes into the second and third, I think Weili picks up the pace here. And, she's going to start throwing a few more shots, but she might get caught a few times. Really, honestly, I think if the fight starts to be more of a close quarters fight, like an inside clinching fight, even against the cage, that favors Weili. But if it stays in the center and they trade, or Weili gets a little reckless and steps into punches, I see that definitely going Lemos's way, possibly even on the ground. Like when Weili takes her down, she leaves herself open for a submission. But if it comes down to it, to me, I think Lemos has a great chance in this fight, and I'm going to have to go with Lemos in this fight. This is the first time I actually picked against Weili in a while. No, I don't think I ever picked against Weili as far as like big fights. I picked Weili in the Rose fights, both the Joanna fights, the Andrade fight. This is actually the first time I'm picking against Weili in this one, and I think Amanda Lemos has the skills, man, and I think she has that timing down, and she has that ability to score early round knockout of Weili Zhang. I do believe if it goes longer, if the fight goes into like rounds 4 and 5, it favors Weili, because at that point, she's shown her durability, and that means she has made adjustments and taken away the power of Amanda Lemos. One more thing. This is another key to victory. Let me backtrack real quick. One more key to victory for Weili is definitely taking away the right hand. She has to take away the right hand, and that means circling to her right, using that left kick to the lead leg, just hit the inside of the lead leg so that way she's not vulnerable to the right hand as much. I think as she steps to her right, she has to use that left leg to kick the lead leg, the inside the inside of the leg of Lemos, you know, to kind of wear that leg down. Because I feel like if she throws the right calf kick a lot, that'll leave her squared up for the right hand. So she needs to take away the power of the right hand by moving to her right and, you know, just slowly chopping away with the inside low kick. All right. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. Prediction, though, I'm going to go with Amanda Lemos in this fight, you know, since I've been riding with her and, you know, telling everybody that, look, she has the tools to do it. I believe she does. She has the jiu-jitsu to get it done on the ground. As far as the explosiveness and the strength, I don't know. But I think it's going to be a good fight all the way around. It can go either way to me. But whoever wins this one, y'all, I really don't care. I really don't care. I think both of them are good representatives for 115. And whoever wins, that means they earned it and they deserved it. So more power to them. But that's what I'm going to go with, y'all. I'm going to go with Amanda Lemos in this one. I think she gets it done by stoppage. As far as the round, it could possibly be the first round. That would be a shocker. But I think maybe in the second or third, too. I think she get it done somewhere around second or third, because that's the pace I think she's going to have to fight at in order to win. If it goes to the cards, I don't know if they would give it to her, you know. So, yeah, man. Let me know, guys, what y'all think. I'm looking forward to this one now. I will be calling this fight. You know, we will be on here watching it together. And, yeah, I'm ready at this point, man. That's all I can say now. But let me know, guys, in the comment section what y'all think. Who do y'all got, Weili or Amanda? Does it really matter for y'all? Y'all just want a good fight? That's what I really want. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.